April arrived with warmer days. The flowers in June's garden had begun to bloom, the trees were slowly turning green again, and for the first time that year, the Wilson family left the back door open while they were at home. Fresh air drifted through the house. So did Buddy's singing. Unfortunately for everyone else. I'm standing on the mountaintop, Buddy sang at the top of his lungs while using a wooden spoon as a microphone. You don't know the words, Tommy shouted from the living room. I know enough. That's not how songs work. Buddy ignored him and sang even louder. Maria couldn't stop laughing. You know, June said as she stirred a pot of soup, I think he's getting better. Toklim looked up from the newspaper. I think the neighbors are considering moving. Even June laughed at that. Every second Saturday in April, the Wilson family had a tradition. A picnic. No matter the weather, no matter how busy life became, they packed sandwiches, homemade cakes, blankets, and footballs before heading to the large meadow on the edge of town. Maria had forgotten all about it. As they spread the blankets across the grass, memories came flooding back. Buddy trying to feed crisps to ducks. Crystal collecting wildflowers. Jack insisting he could beat everyone at football. Susie making enough sandwiches to feed an army. Stacy stealing half of them before lunch. It all came back. She remembered these days. Not because they were extraordinary, because they were happy. Right. Toklim clapped his hands together. Football. Tommy grinned. My team wins. You haven't picked teams yet, Jack replied. I don't need to. You definitely do. Buddy raised both hands. I'll be referee. No chance, everyone answered together. Buddy looked offended. I'd be fair. Tommy folded his arms. You once gave the dog a penalty. He was clearly fouled. Even complete strangers walking past laughed as Buddy argued his case. The match eventually began. It was wonderfully chaotic. Jack tripped over the football before anyone touched him. Tommy celebrated scoring a goal into his own net. Crystal accidentally kicked the ball into the picnic basket. Susie declared herself retired after running for nearly 40 seconds. I'm too old for this. You're 25, Stacy laughed. Exactly. Maria laughed until tears rolled down her cheeks. For a little while, she forgot everything. No countdown, no fear, no graves, just sunshine and family. After lunch, Maria wandered towards the small stream that ran beside the meadow. The water sparkled beneath the afternoon sun. She sat beneath an old willow tree and watched dragonflies skim across the surface. Footsteps approached behind her. Crystal sat beside her without saying anything. After a long silence, she spoke. You've been crying less. Maria smiled softly. I suppose I have. I'm glad, in their silence. You know? Crystal picked up a small pebble and tossed it into the stream. Whatever happened to you? Maria turned towards her. I hope it gets better. Maria stared at her younger sister. What makes you think something happened? Crystal shrugged. You look at us differently now. Different how? Like, she searched for the right words. Like you're trying to remember us. Maria felt her heart stop. Crystal hadn't guessed the truth, but she'd come closer than anyone else. Maria gently wrapped an arm around her shoulders. I love you. Crystal smiled. I know. You do? You only say that when you're emotional. Maria laughed. Do I? Yes. Crystal leaned her head against Maria's shoulder. I love you too. As the sun began to set, the family packed everything away. Buddy insisted on carrying the football. He immediately dropped it into a muddy puddle. Oops. Toklim shook his head. I honestly don't know what to do with you. Buddy grinned. You love me. I do. See? You also give me gray hairs. I thought Tommy did that. Tommy looked horrified. Why am I involved? The laughter echoed across the meadow. Maria closed her eyes for just a second. She wanted to remember that sound forever. That evening, the Wilson family returned home tired but happy. After dinner, everyone settled into the living room. Buddy fell asleep halfway through a film with the remote still clutched in his hand. Crystal quietly covered him with a blanket. Maria smiled. Some things never changed. Later that night, she sat on the edge of her bed with the phone in her hands. 93%. She almost smiled at the number now. It had become strangely comforting. She opened the gallery. Without thinking, she searched for today's date. Nothing. Of course not. The future hadn't happened yet. She was about to lock the phone when she noticed something she had missed before. In the corner of one photograph from 2026, pinned to the family notice board, was a leaflet. Most of it was hidden behind a shopping list. Only 5 words could be read. Wilson Family Charity Fun Run. Maria frowned. Her family had never entered charity runs. At least, she didn't think they had. She zoomed in further. The date wasn't visible. Neither was the location. Just those 5 words. It seemed so ordinary, so unimportant. Yet something deep inside her whispered that it mattered. She carefully placed the phone back into the drawer. As she climbed into bed, she looked out of the window. The moon hung high above the rooftops, somewhere in the darkness. The future was waiting patiently. Not rushing, not hiding. Simply waiting for the day Maria would finally understand how every ordinary moment, every family tradition, every tiny decision was connected. And for the first time since waking up in 2019, she realized that saving her family might not mean changing one terrible day. It might mean protecting every beautiful one that came before it. I'm really happy with this chapter.